Can Zhen Huan, blessed with both beauty and talent, truly outshine all in the imperial harem and enjoy everlasting favor? After half an hour, I heard the bustling sound of footsteps. Going to the front hall to greet them, I already heard Chun Chang's giggling laughter. Sister Huan always comes up with fresh ideas. I was just wondering how to spend the time. I laughed. As long as you're not sleepy, it's fine. You're always hiding in your room sleeping. You're practically becoming a cat. Chun Chang laughed and took my hand. Sister loves to tease me, but I won't accept it. Mei Zhuang, holding Caillou's hand, laughed as she entered. I could hear Chun Er whining from afar. Then she asked, "Why hasn't Ling Rong arrived yet?" I looked at her with a smile. Inviting you wasn't easy. I had to have my maid watch carefully so as not to startle the emperor. Mei Zhuang playfully scolded. Your mouth is getting sharper, as she reached out to pinch my face. I laughed and dodged, pleading for mercy. Amid the commotion, Ling Rong entered slowly with Zhu Qing, who was holding a bunch of azaleas. Pointing to the flowers in her hand, Ling Rong said, "The azaleas in my palace are blooming beautifully, so I had some picked to bring here for Sister Huan to put in a vase." I quickly ushered them in and had Jing Qing bring a vase for the flowers. Jing Qing and Zhu Qing, who were good friends, quickly arranged the vase and then went off together to have a private chat. I smiled at Ling Rong, saying, "Thank you for always thinking of me and my love for flowers. The narcissus you brought on New Year's Eve was lovely. It helped freshen the air in my room, otherwise, how could anyone bear the constant smell of medicine?" Mei Zhuang commented, "Speaking of which, I find that medicinal scent strangely pleasant, better than any of my sachets or fragrant pastries." We sat down in the warm pavilion, where Jinshi had already set a table with snacks. Honey peanuts, walnut jellies, apple gummies, jade bean cakes, chestnut pastries, and 2 colored bean cakes. Chun Chang complained, "The dishes from the imperial kitchen really lack flavor. Always so bland." Mei Zhuang added, "They're fine for handling big celebrations, but for really good food, nothing beats the freshness and taste from our own small kitchens." I turned to Chun Chang and said, "It's hard to please everyone. Aren't you here to taste something new?" Chun Chang, already with a piece of jade bean cake in her mouth and an apple gummy in hand, glanced at the plate of honey peanuts and mumbled, "If it weren't for the delicious food here with Sister Huan, I'd really starve." Mei Zhuang affectionately handed her a cup of fresh milk tea, and I gently patted her back. "Eat slowly. Don't choke and end up crying on your way back." Lu Zhu brought over a boxwood lot drawing container, filled with bamboo sticks named after flowers. She shook it and placed it in the center. Mei Zhuang laughed. "Let me say up front, this is just a game for fun in the women's quarters, don't take it seriously." The others jeered. "Who's taking it seriously? We're just playing, why the rush?" Mei Zhuang's face blushed slightly. "I was just giving a reminder." We decided the order by age. Mei Zhuang was the eldest, followed by me, then Ling Rong and Chun Er. Mei Zhuang, shaking the container, said, "I'll go first. Given my usual luck, I'll probably draw something unfortunate." She drew a stick, looked at it first, then laughed. "See, it's just for fun." She passed it to us. The bamboo stick was painted with a cluster of golden chrysanthemums and had a line of Tang poetry engraved. "By the magistrate's fence, chrysanthemums have a splendid hue. In Luo's dwelling, fragrances accrue." Ling Rong laughed. "Your chrysanthemum, living in Kunju Hall, and now with the emperor's favor, is indeed fragrance within Luo's dwelling." "Absolutely spot on," Mei Zhuang retorted. "Look how Ling Rong is spoiled. I barely said a word, and she's already prepared a dozen replies for me." Chun Chang said, "Sister Hui always loved chrysanthemums the most." Ling Rong covered her mouth and giggled. "See, I wasn't wrong. Even Sister Chun thinks so." Mei Zhuang, eager to move on, said, "My turn is over, it's someone else's now," and pushed the container towards me. I laughed. "Then I'll draw one." Without looking, I randomly picked one, and upon careful inspection, it was a light pink almond blossom with the words "vast scenery," and also engraved with a line of Tang poetry, eagerly watched by the maiden, as if they were flowers blooming with the spring breeze. The sight of the almond blossom stirred memories within me, making my face flush as if bathed in the glow of dawn. Chun Chang curiously asked, "Sister Huan hasn't been drinking, how come you look flushed?" Ling Rong snatched it to take a look and laughed. "Congratulations. Almonds symbolize fortune and also represent a distinguished spouse. Almond blossoms are a sign of favor." Mei Zhuang leaned in to see and also wore a happy expression. Really? Almonds symbolize recovery from illness. It seems your illness is about to improve. After being bedridden for so long, with the weather warming, you should be getting better. Chun Chong, holding a piece of chestnut pastry, said. Doesn't the poem on the stick mention spring breeze and success? Maybe it means sister is going to achieve great academic success. Sister, you should make some top scholar cakes. Ling Rong couldn't help but laugh, wrapping her arm around her. You're always thinking about eating. Spring breeze and success means Sister Huan's springtime has arrived. I raised my hand to cover Ling Rong's mouth. Let's not speak of such indecent village talk, and don't teach Chun Er bad habits. Then to Mei Zhuang I said, this doesn't count. I drew it randomly, just trying my luck. You've seen people make excuses before, but never like this. Mei Zhuang laughed. But since you're the host, I'll allow you to draw again. But no more excuses after this. I thanked her and carefully shook the drawing container before drawing another stick, saying, this one should be good. Looking at it, it was a crabapple blossom with the words crabapple deciphers, and a line of poetry. Gentle east wind spreading noble light. I smiled and said, indeed it's accurate. I reside in Tongli Palace, and this morning the 2 crabapple trees in front of the hall bloomed. Mei Zhuang smiled after a look. Truly well said. Crabapples are also known as deciphering flowers. And aren't you just like a lovely deciphering flower? Ling Rong brought a cup of wine to my lips. Here, drink this cup to celebrate. I lifted the cup and drank it in one gulp, feeling spirited. I called Lu Zhu and Huan by in laughing. The latter verse by Su Dongpa goes, fearing the flowers might sleep too soon at night, I light tall candles to illuminate their beauty. Fetch 2 large red lanterns for me to light up those crabapples in the hall, so they won't fall asleep. They both hurried off to do as instructed. Mei Zhuang, caressing my cheek, said, this girl is really spirited today. Then to Ling Rong, you draw one for fun too. Ling Rong laughed and agreed, drawing a stick. After a glance, her hand loosened, dropping the stick. Her cheeks flushed as if drunk. This game isn't nice, claiming to be just a women's quarters game, but filled with so much flattery. Everyone was puzzled until Chun Er quickly picked it up. It was an oleander with the note. Delicate branches easy to break, soft complaints, with layers of faint shadows inviting a pleasant breeze. Mei Zhuang, covering her mouth with a handkerchief, laughed. I might not understand the rest, but I get soft complaints. I wonder to whom Sister Ling Rong intends to express her tender feelings. Suddenly, memories from the past surged back, and Ling Rong's suppressed cries on the night before entering the palace seemed to echo in my ears once more, sending a shiver through my heart. Still, I kept a smile on my face, pretending to speak casually to Mei Zhuang. Such tender feelings must surely be for the emperor. Who else could it be for? As consorts of the Son of Heaven, our hearts can harbor no men other than the emperor himself. Although I was facing Mei Zhuang, my gaze kept darting to Ling Rong, observing her reaction. She seemed momentarily lost upon hearing my words, but it was only for a brief instant. Her gaze quickly swept over me, and she responded with a bright smile. Ling Rong is still young, how could I understand the deep emotions my sisters speak of? I smiled silently, my message was clear, and Ling Rong surely understood. Mei Zhuang suggested. Ling Rong dropped her flower stick for no reason. She should be penalized. How about 3 drinks as punishment? Ling Rong hurriedly begged for mercy. I can't handle my liquor. Even 1 cup makes me dizzy. I can't possibly endure 3, no. Noticing the candlelight dimming, I pulled a silver hairpin from my hair to adjust the wick. Unexpectedly, the wick popped loudly, and the flame brightened significantly, forming a large flower of light. Mei Zhuang remarked, what's the occasion today? All these auspicious signs are appearing in your palace. Ling Rong was beaming. It seems sister's health is indeed improving. How about this? Let me sing a song to celebrate for sister. That's a novel and elegant idea. I've never heard Sister Ling Rong sing before. Please grace us with a song. Ling Rong adjusted her dress and softly sang a song of impending joy. Flowers stir with the spring on twin hills. Green surrounds the jade-like season. Rain swells the lake's surface by dawn, the light clear against the sky. Moving the orchid or through deep waves, the song carries beyond the dust. Amidst the breaking clouds, thick and thin, see the true colors of lake and mountains. The room fell silent. Lingrong finished singing and Chun-er, entranced, said, "Sister, and your singing is so beautiful. I even forgot about my favorite walnut candy." I exclaimed in delight. "Lingrong, you've truly hidden your talents well. I had no idea you could sing so beautifully. Such a song must belong to the heavens. How often can we hear it in this world?" Mei Zhuang, utterly captivated, said, "Had I heard her singing earlier, what worth would the famed Miaoing lady hold? The title Miaoing surely belongs to you alone." Lingrong blushed modestly. "It's just a small trick, hardly worth mentioning. I fear I've made my sisters laugh." "Not at all. After hearing your song, I could go 3 months without meat." After a round of laughter, we urged Chun-er to draw a flower stick, which she handed to me, saying, "Sister Huan, please look for me. I don't understand these things." I examined it for her. It was a delicate jasmine with the note. Though it lacks a stunning beauty to catch the eye, its pure fragrance surpasses the autumn, and added a line, "A match made by the weaver girl and the cowherd." A chill ran through me, sensing an ill omen, but I quickly smiled at her and said, "This is a good sign." Encouraging her, I added, "Pick whatever you like to eat. There's still some left in the small kitchen. Choose your favorites, and I'll have the maids pack them for you to take back." Delighted, she skipped happily toward the kitchen. Mei Zhuang expressed concern. "Did you draw something unfavorable?" I offered a reassuring smile. "Not really, it just wasn't as fortunate as our previous ones." After a moment, I added, "The flower itself is fine, but the phrase attached to it feels piercing." Lingrong inquired, "What does it say?" "It mentions celestial weaver adorning flowers. According to legend, during the Qixi festival in the Eastern Jin dynasty, women would adorn flowers as a sign of mourning for the weaver girl." Lingrong's expression shifted slightly, while Mei Zhuang forced a laugh. "It's just a game for the women's quarters, don't take it too seriously." As we were talking, Mei Zhuang's servant, Kaiyu, came in and reported, "My lady, the emperor has retired to the Hong and I pavilion for the night." Mei Zhuang acknowledged with a nonchalant, "I see. You may leave now." Once the servant exited, Mei Zhuang muttered, "Quite the turn of events for Consort Yu rising so quickly." Lingrong appeared confused. "Wasn't she just released from confinement?" Mei Zhuang idly fiddled with a peanut, not eating it, just rolling it between her fingers. The thin red skin of the peanut fluttered down from her fair hands, scattering tiny red flecks. She brushed off her hands and said, "That's real skill. It's already her 3rd night of favor since being released. And it's only been a few days. How did she manage to turn things around so quickly?" I asked. "Rumor has it she knelt outside the emperor's Yuan hall and sang through the night until her voice was hoarse, which moved the emperor to pity her again." Lingrong's brows furrowed with worry, her fingers nervously twisting a handkerchief. "She has always been at odds with Consort Hui. Despite her low status, she's quite audacious. Now it seems the emperor might elevate her position again." She sneakily glanced at Mei Zhuang's reaction. Standing up, I brushed off the peanut skins from Mei Zhuang's clothes. "If even you are wary of her, others must feel the same. If her overbearing nature doesn't change, it won't be long before someone else takes action." Mei Zhuang understood. "I won't act rashly unless absolutely necessary." I smiled gracefully. "Such trifles aren't worth our concern." The room fell silent, everyone sitting solemnly as the water clock ticked steadily. After a while, Mei Zhuang brightened up. "It's getting late, we should take our leave." After seeing them out, I returned to my quarters to rest. In the depths of the night, I vaguely heard the watch drums echo again and again in my dreams, always feeling as if a laugh or a streak of bright sunlight was breaking through layers of almond blossom shadows, shining directly upon me.
Follow us to avoid getting lost and enjoy endless exciting stories. For more content, please go to the Story Wall homepage to view more exciting novels.